We just prayed for police officers and firefighters. Now go to page 10. And this is the homework on page 10, at least a couple of questions. And the first one we're going to do is the first question of your homework. And it's right here, 2A. So you can see that they FOILed first, and then collected like terms, and then distributed the two. If you want to distribute the two into the first bracket, and then FOIL, you'll get the exact same answer. Did anybody do that? Distribute to the first bracket and get the exact same answer as 24x squared. Equal sign. Good job, person. 24x squared, subtract 50x plus 24. Anybody get that? Okay, both ways. Get it, got it, good. Okay, so that's what we worked on Tuesday. Just take a picture if you don't have that answer and you want to go get it again. And now 3, here are the answers to your question number 2, the 4 questions on the bottom of the page. Here are the answers. Just got to cut them down a little bit. There they go. And what I want you to concentrate on these questions, or 3A is FOIL, and then collect like terms. You can't see anything right down here. That's okay. So, are these ones in B? Can't see anything. Okay. In B, there's a subtraction sign in the middle. Make sure you subtract and bracket. So you subtract the whole thing inside those brackets. All those things should change signs. This one, whenever you have a flaw in D, your last question in your homework, whenever you can flaw, you flaw. You want to take 8 seconds and flaw, it's going to make some longer questions shorter. Okay, so anytime you can flaw, you want to flaw, get the exact same things. But again, when you flaw, look at there's a subtraction sign in front of it. You have to change the signs for the whole bracket, not just the x squared. Okay, so then take a picture of those if you want. Anybody get those answers? Let me get a pretty fancy question with these x, y's. Anybody get that answer? All right, Caleb says yay. And it's all distribute and collect like terms. Distribute and collect like terms. Distribute and collect like terms. FOIL means distribute. Today we're doing SuperFOIL. That means distribute. It's going to be FOIL with 2 more arrows. And there you go. If you have any other questions, ask me in class and or at Math Help on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, now let's turn to the next page. Bottom of page 11, please. Bottom of page 11. Let me get this microphone plugged in. Lower. There you go. Still recording. Page 11. We're right here. Okay, so I just call it SuperFOIL as a nickname. There's no super acronym. I wish I didn't have the star here, but it's 6 arrows. There's now 3 arrows on the top. You're going to do the 5x times each term of the bracket, and then you're going to distribute the 2 into each term of the bracket. So right now I want you to do this for your IPP. You're going to cut this in green. And that's it. You don't need to show me the answer, but this is your important information page, which is due on Tuesday. Okay, so you just cut and paste onto a piece of paper. That's it. Everything we've talked about in these study stars throughout the unit. Honestly, it took me to do trig. It took me 20 minutes maybe to do the whole unit on formulas and important information page. Yes, sir.
What do you mean cut and paste? You want to get scissors and cut us out?
Well, you could do that, but that's not going to help your notes. So I've got this posted on Google Class, so you can just highlight it and cut and paste it in the document. Or you can just write it on a separate piece of paper. Doesn't matter to me, that's the easiest way to do it. Okay, so let's start with these black arrows up top, so 5x times x squared. Remember what we're doing here? We're all distributing. This is last on Wednesday, this is Tuesday, this is Monday, this is today. We distribute, which means multiply the numbers and add exponents. And then we collect like terms, which means add or subtract the numbers and keep the letters. That's all we're doing. In this case, we're doing it 6 times for distributive property. So 5x cubed, we got 5 times 2 is 10, x times x is x squared, 5x times 1 is 5x. On the bottom brackets, we got 2 times x squared, which is plus 2x squared, 2 times 2x, plus 4x, and 2 times 1 is 1, 2, 3, 2. And now we collect like terms. We add the x squares together, and we add the x's together. Bring down the first term and the last term. 10x plus 2, sorry, 10x squared plus 2x squared is 12. Keep the x squared. 5 plus 4 is 9. Keep the x. Anybody get that? Good thumbs. Super duper. If you didn't get it, who cares? I don't care. Get the next one. Right. These feel good. But there's 6 to 8 to 10 arrows, and you get the answer right. That's good stuff. That's you concentrating hard and knowing your math. If you have any questions, just give me a second. Let me get everyone started. I'd rather you rewrite this with the binomial first, just so you don't have to do any reverse distributing. So 2y squared, subtract 3y, subtract 7. And then I'm going to get you to work ahead of me by again doing the top 3 arrows. Even though we're supposed to do this together, I want you to get some extra practice in, and then do the bottom 3 arrows. Okay, so see if you can get those next 6 terms, and I'll be erasing the answer to A pretty quickly.
You also just do how it's written, just
You can, but if there's something after that, yeah, you can. But I would try not to reverse arrows. It can cause trouble with other types of questions in later years. Does everyone have this first question, this answer? Yes? Okay. All right, give me those first 6 arrows, please. The first 3 is 2y squared times y, 2y cubed. Y times negative 3y is negative 3y squared, and y times negative 7 is negative 7y. You want to confirm those first 3? You want to get that? C squared? Yeah, C squared is. How's that? Z or LZ? And then red is negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Keep the y squared. Negative 6 times negative 3 is plus 18. Keep the yo-yo. And negative, these are, don't make any sign mistakes because you can't. Those are tricky signs. Like you have a calculator, so there should be no sign mistakes. And now collect like terms, add the y squares together and add the y's together. And this is something you can't make a mistake on. So right here, you're collecting the y squares together and you're collecting the y's together, including the sign. And nobody should be getting this wrong when you have a calculator. Okay, we're doing negative 3 subtract 12. Everyone can do that with a calculator. You get negative 15 y squared. And this one you're doing negative 7 plus 18. Everyone can do that. You got 11 yo-yos for a very fun trick. There we go. Anybody get that final answer? Yep. Good thumbs. Salute to you. If you didn't get, who cares? You got one coming up on the next page. Okay, is there any questions on that one? And everyone go to page 12, do the top. There's one question for you to do completely on your own. Binomial times a trinomial. 6 arrows, like terms, equal signs, pat yourself on the back. Alright, you know what's going on? Good job. So you've done something like that. You've done trivia. Everything up to word problems. You'll have a question on Monday. So on Monday at lunch. Okay. Diagram term, right? Yeah, the diagram term. Diagram term. You've done that. Line size. If not, podcast on Google Class. Okay. That's you. Okay, no trickier one right off the bat. You need to know whether it's 2x to the 5th or 2x to the 6th. Which one is it? Good. Add exponents. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times -5 is the number with the x squared. Okay, so that should have been your first 3 arrows. Before I move on, is there any questions on the red terms? And now let's do the blue terms. So we have a -4. Oops, -4 times 2x cubed, -8. X cubed, -4x, and then plus 20, -4 times -5. And now this one's a bit odd, as we can only collect one pair of terms. Everything else is different except for these x cubes. There's only one x to the 5th. There's only one x squared. There's only one x. There's only one number. But there's 2 x cubes, so don't forget there's a 1 here. What's 1 subtract 8? Take your best guess and then punch in your calculator. -7. You want to get that? 5-termed answer. Good job. Good thumbs. I'm going to start this for you, but I'm going to let you finish it so we can have another SuperFOIL question. And you can see this one has 6 arrows. This one's going to have more than 6 arrows. And that's okay. These are still worth 2 marks, just like this question is worth 2 marks. And you're going to take 2 seconds. Oops, 7. You're going to take 8 seconds to get 2 marks on this one. That's a 7. 49. And you're going to take 4 minutes to do this question and get 2 marks on it. Anyways, anyone still writing this down? Actually, never mind. I'm just going to move it up. There we go. So to start here, you have options here. You can either SuperFOIL and then distribute the 4. Or in this case, we're going to do this together just so we have the same terms. We can distribute to the first bracket and then SuperFOIL. So let's do that together with an equal sign. So 4 apples, subtract 16, and then just bring this down. A squared, subtract 3a, subtract 6. Subtract, and now you're going to remember to flaw. Anytime you can flaw, you flaw. When they're the exact same binomials and different signs, the middle terms cancel. So you do f times f, first times first, and last time last, negative 3 times 3. And the reason why I want you to write that down is don't forget you have to distribute this subtraction sign into everything in the bracket, not just the first term. So go finish this one and see how you do. This is a 1, 2, 3, 9 arrow question. Oh well, who cares? We're going to get it right. I believe in you. Math loves you. God loves you. All right. Okay, let's see how you did with these black arrows. So you SuperFOIL. 4a times a squared is 4a cubed. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. A times a is a squared. And 4a times negative 6 is negative 24. Keep the a. Next, we got these guys. So negative 16a squared right there. And we got negative 16 times negative 3, which is plus 48 apples. And negative 16 times negative 6 is plus 96. Careful with the sign there. And then we're going to distribute these red ones at the end. I guess I'll put it in green. Subtract 16a squared plus 9. These are fun to get right, I'm telling you. There's a whole bunch of a squares coming to town. There's some apples too. And some numbers. Grand finale. There's only one a cubed term. There's 3. The green underlined ones, negative 28, negative 44. Keep the a squared. The squiggly ones is plus 24 apples. And then you got $105. Well, you may get that? Yep. Okay. Quite a few. You can go over here. Awesome. Questions? Talk to me, thinking.
It's negative 46.
I think it's negative 44 from doing it previously. Can we get negative 44? Yeah.
But this doesn't make it. It's negative 16. But subtract negative. Sorry, subtract 16.
Yeah.
Negative 32.
Correct.
So now you're taking away 12.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. So negative 32. Just look at that guy.
Oh,
You got it. Right.
I got messed up on. I foiled the 4a negative 3 4a. Oh.
Okay, and if you do that, you'll get these extra arrows here. You'll get 12 apples, subtract 12 apples, and they're just going to cancel anyway, because 12 subtract 12 is 0. But try not to do that. It's just a waste of time. And even if you do that, sometimes students put 24, negative 24, and it's just easier to recognize that's a flaw. So 2 arrows, 8 seconds later. Save yourself some grief. Okay. You may. Okay, next section. Little section is SuperFOIL. Kinda. So this is your last important information page before Tuesday. So cut and paste that. And then any binomial times a binomial times a binomial is an example of this. So if you get something like this, you have to know what to do. And what we're saying is you FOIL. And I'm going to say FOIL the back binomials first, and then SuperFOIL. If you FOIL the first two, that's fine, you'll get the same answer. It's just easier to have a binomial times a trinomial as your next step. What you need to know, first of all, is that volume. What's the formula for volume, anyone? Right down. All right, lots of volunteers for that. Okay, so write down, that's for this one, volume equals length times width times height. And usually we have 8 times 7 times 15, and then we just multiply those numbers together, but not in grade 10. Grade 10, we have binomials. So we have volume equals x plus 1 times x plus 2 times x plus 5. So that's a quick mark right off the bat, half the mark you get just for writing that down. I think. Yeah, well, x plus, it depends, length and height, right? Depends if it falls over or not. But x plus 5 would be the longest one. But yes, x plus 1 is the last place. Good job, you're up for talk about chocolate bar champion. Okay, so for now, we're going to do our question for the first time, where we have a binomial times a binomial times a binomial. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to leave the first binomial alone and just FOIL the last two. Okay, so the x plus 1, just bring it down. And we're going to FOIL these guys. Okay, so x times x is x squared plus 5x plus 2x. 2 plus 5 is 10. Collect like terms, and it becomes x squared plus 7x plus 10. And now you're going to finish the for me. Now go ahead and SuperFOIL that. We love this question because there's all addition signs. Well, we got to record. I'm not sure where we ended up. Probably the binomial times the binomial, right? Okay. Anyways, I'll go back here. I think I probably stopped it with your important information page. And we did this question, volume equals length times width times height. So 3 binomials. And how you do 3 binomials multiplied by each other is you FOIL the back two, preferably, and then collect like terms, and then SuperFOIL when you get to here. Okay, so 10 arrows this time, and be very, very proud of yourself if that's the answer you got. Now, recording, yep. Well, here. Now I've added the question, numerical response. This is the answer you got. Find A plus B plus C plus D with the form they give you. So write that above or below the answer, and you don't want to do all that work and then give me the wrong answer to numerical response. And this is just saying add the A and the B and the C together. So add the numbers. What number is here? That's the tricky part. Everybody? 1. Yeah, so don't miss the 1. And then they're asking you to add 1 plus 8 plus 17 plus 10, and you have a calculator. Which is what? Somebody? 36? Okay, so this is not the hard part. The math is the hard part. Do not get intimidated by the numerical response questions where they're asking you to do this on your calculator. That's no problem part. Okay, and if you're having trouble with numerical response, please go back to that sheet. Please do it over again and look at all of the answers that I gave you on the answer key. You're going to have these for the next 3 years. You can't keep guessing. You can't keep getting them wrong. You need to get these right, and there are no partial marks from them. They're either right or wrong for A, B's, and C's. In this case, there's a D too. Now here, if you forgot the 1, that's very unfortunate because you do all this work and you don't get any marks. But if you don't know what to do, that's concerning because this one is all addition signs. They're just telling you to add the numbers in the numerical coefficients on each term. Think we're okay with binomial times binomial times binomial? Let's try it on your own. AKA page 13. Do that one on your own. Top page 13. Go for it. Foil the back two, and then SuperFOIL. By the way, who got the, I think I already asked that, the 10 arrow one right? Wow, high 10 yourself. I guess you can high 5 yourself as you take your shoes off. Okay, you might not be done, but let's see how you did on this part. We're going to bring this first binomial down in black, leave it, and we're going to foil the red ones. We're going to pretend this isn't even there. Okay, so 2x squared, subtract x, 4 times 2 is 8, keep the x, and 4 times -1 is -4. I like to collect like terms first. It's a little easier in overall. So you got 2x squared. This is -1 plus 8. Touchdown Knights. Subtract 4. And you may not be quite done yet, so now you do 6 arrows. After you did 4 arrows, and super duper fun. Who needs an Xbox game system when you got these questions? Honestly, this is way better. Way better. Okay, so you finish that off while I hide this answer from you. By the way, podcast people, they all agreed that this is way more fun than gaming. Pretty soon it'll be TSN, ESPN television, televised math contests. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Okay, before I collect by terms, anybody get those guys? Making bad jokes. Got a couple yeses. Let's move. Didn't really leave myself in your room, did I? So final answer: 2x cubed. Add the green underlined x's together to get plus 1x squared. So squiggly. -4 subtract 21 is what you're doing. -25x plus igna. Did you get that? Nice, nice. Good job. Pros. They got the 10 arrow question right. Super duper awesome. What else is awesome is you have the rest of the class to do these homework questions. Now take a quick peek. I don't want you to do too much homework. So you got the take-home quiz. And the homework is actually page 13, 14, 15, but I've cut it off to page 14, okay? So you do not have to do page 15. So page 13, 14, and the take-home quiz. Right now you got some time. And work 6 minutes on this homework, so get 1 or 2 of these done. And God bless, have some day.